And do I have permission to record a conversation and share it with the world?
Pam, there's nothing I would like more than for you to record this conversation.
Sabrosura, papi, que.
Hola, welcome back to Café con Pam, where we share our stories or cafecito. Yo soy Pam Covarrubias, and we bring you todas las historias from first-gen Latinas and people of the global majority that are doing amazing things. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and ring the bell so you never miss our cafecito time. And of course, for more incredible stories, check out our podcast, Café con Pam. El día de hoy, we have a conversation with Beatriz Victoria Albina. She is a UCSF-trained Family Nurse Practitioner, Somatic Experiencing Practitioner, Master Certified Somatic Life Coach, author of The Forthcoming, and Emotional Outsourcing, a guide to overcoming codependent, perfectionist, and people-pleasing habits. She's also a breathwork meditation guide with a passion for helping humans socialized as women to reconnect with their bodies, regulate their nervous system, and rewire their minds so they can break free from codependency, perfectionism, and people pleasing and reclaim their joy. Bea is also the host of the Feminist Wellness podcast. She holds a master's degree in public health from Boston University School of Public Health and a BA in Latin American Studies from Oberlin College. She's born in Mar del Plata, Argentina, and grew up in the great state of Rhode Island. She's been working in health and wellness for over 20 years and lives with her wife, Billy Albina, and their handsome all-black cat, Wade. And listeners, Bea actually mentions Wade during this conversation. And if you have listened to Café con Pan before, you know this is the second time that Bea comes to Café con Pan, which is always a joy. The first conversation, though, you can find it in the podcast, and it was in Spanish. This one is all in English, and we focused mainly on her book. So that's the beauty of having multiple platforms, multiple ways of sharing stories, because now you get to hear Bea's side or Bea's story on a different language. How fun is that? Y bueno, I had a lot of fun as usual. Check it out. Here's my combo with Bea Albina. Bea, welcome back.
Oh, thank you for having me, Pam. We had so much fun last time.
We did in Espanol. So this one, we're going to switch it
Yes.
up a little.
We're going to do it in English. The book's in English. It seems like it makes sense, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So congrats.
Thank you.
I think when we talked, you were writing the book.
I think so. Or I was editing it. It's all like such a ridiculous, amazing blur, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all a huge blur, but I'm so glad that it's out. It hits the shelves soon, September 30th. And I'm just so glad to offer people a new way to think about their codependent behavior that's not based in shame and blame.
Big deal.
Right? That's why I wrote this, and I can't wait to get it into every hand.
How do you feel? Now that you see it, you have it, you touch it, it's printed.
Is printed. You know what's so funny? So I got the box of them, and I was still honest, to be like super honest, I was still a little nonchalant. I was still like, okay, well, this is cool. Like, tranquila, you know? And then I gave my first copy to my beloved best friend, Sanai Kusari. She's a goddess. And she looks at me and she got a little like emotional. And she goes, oh, you have to sign it. And it was that moment of signing it that I just crumbled. I was like, oh my God, this is real. That's what made it real. It was like signing
your first book.
Girl.
Wow.
Wow.
Did you ever think you were going to write a book?
Mira, I don't know. I mean, you know, when I got into medicine, I thought I was going to practice medicine. And that maybe, you know, like I was an herbalist first. I thought maybe I'd write some kind of like holistic medicine book.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started the podcast, I remember people saying, when are you going to write your book? And I was like, I'm going to get a handle on podcasting first.
Right. Which you have a pretty good one.
It's all right. It's okay. We're doing all right. And Yeah, but it just sort of makes sense, right? Like I'm such primero being Argentine, we're such storytellers.
Mhm.
And then being a Leo, I don't know, I love storytelling. I love creating a narrative. And I'm from
Yeah.
such a like every woman in my line is an educator. And so it
Mm.
just it makes sense.
It's in your blood.
Plus like growing up bilingual, I love words. I love language. And I think that's how I came to coin the term emotional outsourcing. No, because if you'd said to me, well, people did, Bea, you're codependent, right? I'd be like,
Mhm.
no, I am so independent. Girl, you don't know. I don't need anybody. No, I don't need anybody. Nobody needs me. I'm a rock in an island. If that's okay with you, you don't mind, right? Is that okay?
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Sure. Uh-huh. You're not codependent, girl. Same with perfectionist and people pleaser. Just the words never landed, so I never got help.
Well, and I love that story when you talk about the odd chores that you would do at home, like limpiar, clean things up and kinda, like,
Mhm.
tell us
Mhm.
more about that because I think when I was reading that part, I was like, "Wait,
Wait.
like, are you reading a little bit of my story?" Like,
En
planning the
serio?
vacation for everyone, making sure that people have arrived at their destination, like, you're
Oh, yeah.
you're the I don't know if it's the center, but almost like a nucleus in a way.
A nucleus, a mayor, a connector,
Mm,
a
mm.
fixer, a what it was, and I'm not calling you in or out, mi amor, but just talking about
I'm
me
calling
and
myself in.
right, let's go. Hundreds of my clients. When you're up above it all, Geppetto, right? You're pulling all the strings. No one's looking at you.
Mhm.
Don't look at me, look at Pinocchio. Girl, you got a ride to the airport, you got dinner, you got this.
Yes.
Look at what I'm doing, not who I am. You don't need to look at
Mm,
me. Ciao. See you later. Ciao.
mhm. Todo bien, todo bien.
Why are you looking at me? I don't recommend it.
Yes.
But look at all I did for you. You should love me for what I do. ¿Por qué? Because I can control that. Because I can do it perfect. I'm not a perfectionist, but I did it perfectly. And so now I've got control of the narrative of how you see me because I showed up to do stuff you didn't ask for. You
Mhm.
maybe didn't even want and are annoyed that I did, but well, I just did it because I care. And then guess what? Next week, when you're not behaving how I want you to, and with all I do for you,
Right.
and with all I do for you, you can't do this one thing for me. Can I get any respect around here? Bum,
Yeah.
right? It's
Oof.
insidious. It is so sneaky,
So
but we have no
sneaky.
idea we're doing it.
When did you realize you were doing it?
Like in my like early, like I was like
How many
30.
times, right?
Listen, right, okay, there's that. But like I was like 30, and then my then best friend eh, said to me, we were walking in San Francisco, and she turned to me and she said, "You know, you're really codependent, right?" And I was like, "Girl, nah, that's somebody else. That's some like Midwestern soccer mom married to an alcoholic man. That's not me. Get out of here with that." But it's the earworm started. No?
It was a seed that was planted.
Yes. I
Mm.
started sort of thinking about it and started maybe. No? Like, oh, sure, maybe. And here's the thing about me. I've always been, for better and definitely then later for worse, always been the first to be like, okay, great, I'm broken. There's something wrong with me. I'm broken. Okay, great, let's fix me. And I will go.
Mm.
Right? Like I will go. You tell me to change my diet, to take a supplement, to do a program, to do a therapy, to do a somatic, to do a friggin' dance. Yes. But from the problematic place of I'm broken. So you telling me I'm codependent? I'm sure I am. Sure. Let's go.
Which is where I think a lot of people are,
Yeah.
no? In that hyper awareness of like,
Uh-huh.
it's a yes, Ike,
Ike.
no?
Right. And the Ike that has existed up to now is you are broken. You need to be fixed. You need to admit this problem that is a problem with your character, with your identity. You have to identify with the labels, with the terms, in order to get healing. If you're not identifying, what are you hiding from? You're not being honest.
Yeah.
You're not being honest because you don't identify with a label of who your full freaking spirit is. And I'm just not having it. I'm not having it because I believe in humans, right?
Yeah.
Like, we have a rescue cat who was biting, and I just looked at him in the face and I told him in Spanish, of course, because all cats speak Spanish, Mi amor, you need to stop biting me. And it's been a while, and now he goes, and he just barely puts his teeth
I
on
want
me.
to, but I'm not gonna.
Right. So if that 15 pounds of cat that we literally picked up out of a garbage can like 6 months ago, if he can learn not to bite, he's not a biter.
Mm,
It's a survival skill he learned being a street cat. ¿Me entiendes? And we were street cats in our own life, so we learned to be codependent because we're not idiots.
out of survival.
Mira, of course we bit. Why would you not bite?
Right. So your friend called it out and you were like, bueno, maybe, yes, maybe, yeah. And then what happened?
It was like, I will take all the blame, but I don't like the word.
Mm.
It was a weird.
What did it like spark when you heard the word?
Well, the like, that's not me. Like, this full rejection. But if you're telling me I'm messed up, you must know me better than I do, because everyone does, because who even am I? All I've been doing for my whole life is being what I think everyone else wants and needs me to be, thus the extra chores. So listen, who am I to say no? Who am I to say what I'm not? So I guess I'm the thing you're saying I am. How should I get help? Go to this church basement with you. Let's go. Let me make a list of how terrible I am and like really believe it. That
Oof.
I'm right.
So how did emotional outsourcing,
Mm,
how did you flip it into saying, it's
yeah.
not that you're broken, it's not that, because I love that you bring all of that in the book, which is all the systems.
Yeah, well, because when we say that it's an individual problem, and it's a problem with your character,
Mm,
right? So we're taking out the survival skills, we're taking out the somatics, the body based brilliance, we're taking out the nervous system, and we're taking out the social milieu, right? I became a nurse practitioner on purpose versus like other medical careers because nursing is socioculturally focused, right? It's
mhm.
about the human in their environment. And that's always been my jam, right? I have a master's in public health. What's the environment creating the health
Yes.
or the not health,
Yes, yes, yes.
right? And so we can't talk about these survival skills without talking about the soup we're swimming in.
I mean, like the cat.
Right. Wade was a garbage cat, and we came up in the garbage can of the patriarchy, white settler colonialism, and late stage capitalism. Por favor.
Mhm, mhm.
How else are we going to respond? I'll say yeah, codependent, perfectionist, and people pleasing habits are a brilliant and expectable, natural, totally reasonable response to growing up in these environments.
It's dividing.
Right. Because under these systems of oppression, the essential human needs, safety, belonging, a validation, connection, access to resources, they are dependent on managing the emotions, needs, and approval of those with more power.
Mhm.
And so emotional outsourcing becomes like a nervous system level survival adaptation because it's a way to secure connection and reduce risk when the stakes are your well being, your livelihood, and your physical safety.
Which is most of the time as we navigate these systems.
Yeah, especially when we are children who are inherently dependent animals.
Mhm.
And so we need a framework that helps us to see the absolute brilliance of these experiences. And that's where I start with my clients is making a list of our most common emotional outsourcing habits and celebrating them.
That's powerful because it allows you to witness and accept and give compassion and grace
Right.
instead of blame.
Right, because when we are fighting ourselves for our survival skills, first of all, we're not seeing our brilliance.
Mm-hmm.
So you missed that. And second, your nervous system is in sympathetic activation, that fight or flight. Oh my God, a lion's coming. But who's the lion? It's you.
Right.
So we're in a fight for our lives against ourselves as we try to recuperate our lives. It just doesn't make sense, and it leaves us in friction instead of in more
Mm-hmm.
ease, which is all any of us want, no?
I mean, and how many of us are walking around without knowing
That we're fighting ourselves.
that we want that safety piece?
Right. Right. So when we look at like the signs of codependency, right? Feeling responsible for other people's emotions, like you can't relax if someone's upset, you feel compelled to fix it. Taking on a therapist role in our relationships, avoiding conflict at all costs, apologizing constantly when you didn't do anything wrong and you're not even Canadian, giving and giving and giving until you're completely exhausted, believing that if you don't take care of someone, they will leave you, they will stop loving you, on and on. Yeah, most of us don't realize that we are trying to source safety, belonging, and worth from taking our self and like locking it way back in a closet
Yeah.
and pouring ourselves into everyone else's cup. We don't realize it when we take extra projects at work, when we're already maxed out, when we feel guilty for taking a break or setting a boundary, when we live from obligation, when we can't make a decision without asking the entire peanut gallery. We don't realize what's at the core of this. And that's what I seek to really expose for us in the book, because you can't change what you can't see, right?
Yeah.
And we've been so trained living in the garbage can to live this way because it's what our moms did and their moms did and their moms did, because of course they
Mm-hmm.
did.
Yes.
So we just need that mirror raised up to say, mijita, I love you, and
Yes.
this story that there's a right and wrong way to do things. And so if you can't succeed 100%, you're not going to start. That's hurting you. Not knowing what you truly want because you've spent a whole lifetime prioritizing others, that's hurting you. And that's emotional outsourcing.
And how much is that of that is modeled?
I would say most of it.
Because you mentioned the lineage, no?
Yeah.
Like growing up seeing the mom doing it. I grew up seeing my grandmother. I grew up with my grandma actually because my mom traveled, and so she was a
Yeah.
flight attendant. So my first, I for a long time,
Yeah.
this is a fun fact. For a long time, I was like, I have daddy issues because my dad left when I was 11. But
Uh-huh.
actually, who first abandoned me was my mother
Ah. Mm-hmm.
because she left
Yeah.
me when I was 3, when I was 4, when I was like she would leave every week. And so when I
Wow. It's a
finally
lot.
went into, yeah, that subconscious programming of I'm going to be left, it was my mom who was the first one who left me,
Oof. Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
so my grandma would watch me, and to this day, I remember she would always be like, and I'd be like, gases, what are you doing? And she'd be praying for everybody because she
Wow.
was just like, she was so codependent for all of her children
Yeah.
that she would hang up the phone and then she would be like rezando for like whatever they just shared. And then
Yeah.
all day, that was her life. And so I've had to, that model
Yeah.
as an eldest daughter.
Right. We talked about this last time.
Yeah, we
Yep.
did.
Eldest daughter syndrome.
Eldest daughter syndrome of like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, here you are. You got to take care of everybody. So
Everybody.
I think of that model of
Right.
me seeing my grandmother, like emotionally taking care of everybody.
Yeah, so I talk about this in the book. I talk about two things: reenactment in the nervous system, and I talk about mirror neurons. So, mirror neurons are the monkey see, monkey do part of our brain, and especially in childhood, is looking at our grown-ups to understand what do we do. ¿Me entiendes? Like, I'll be
Mhm.
honest, when we first got Wade, he wasn't so good at grooming. I mean, he came from a garbage, like actual garbage can. ¿Me entiende? Like he's gotten better at it, but like I would sit and sort of brush my hair and like show him how to clean a little bit.
Yeah. Modeling.
We need models. Our neurons need models. I'm gonna leave poor Wade out of this. He did not consent to be part of this show, but but we need models. And so we learn, some things are constitutional, some things are that magic, ineffable, what you are. I mean, we could turn to Andean shamanism and talk about our Wikochil, right? Like our eighth chakra that we each
Mhm.
carry. Maybe that's another show, um, yeah, a lot of it is just modeled and I remember growing up, I would often say things and I would hear myself talking in my dad's voice.
Wow.
And I hadn't necessarily thought through what I was saying. I was just monkeying. I was just being a little monkey repeating what I had heard the big monkey that I loved more than anything say.
Oh my
Big monkey
god.
said it, so I'm just going to say it, right?
Yeah. It must be good and right.
Well, sure. And also, what else is there?
Correct.
And I think there's something particularly to the immigrant experience where, like, I feel like you're either in one of two camps. Either you move to where there's a lot of your gente,
Mhm.
or you move to Providence, Rhode Island in the 80s. We were really, really lonely. We were really lonely. We were the only South Americans. I didn't know a not related to me South American until I went to college.
Oh my gosh.
Well, where was I going to find them, Pam?
Totally.
Donde? Right? So who was modeling for me? Just my two monkeys.
Mhm.
The other thing we do is called reenactment. So when something is incomplete in your nervous system, we reenact that same situation with different players in an attempt to get the resolution we didn't get the first time around. I know, I make that face too. Getting a parent's attention or love, right? And we then project that and reenact that with partners or friends or work,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, we're doing those two things based on what we saw as little ones and what created our world as little ones, because that's all we know.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And that's where awareness is so important, but how could people bring their awareness into seeing those patterns?
Mindfulness.
Mm.
So we start with mindfulness and we have to start with the body. Mindset is vital. If you're thinking the same painful thoughts, I don't matter. They're more important than me. I have to give, give, give. No one pays attention to me, etc. You're going to keep reenacting it. Not to be all because science, but
Chemistry.
yeah, right. And for most of us who are living in emotional outsourcing, in my experience, what becomes most abandoned is the body
Always.
because well, sure.
And it's the one that screams the most. Do you agree?
Right. And where it's easiest for us to shut down
Yeah.
when we can brain to function. Because if
Yes.
we don't have feelings, if we live from the neck up, right, and we're all brain, then we don't feel and we're not present in the animal, and then nothing hurts us.
Según.
Right. Wink, wink, right? Or then we turn 35 or 45 and start doing this work and we realize, oof,
Yeah.
oof, right? Then you buy my book and I'm picturing a lot of people, hopefully, if I wrote it well enough, throwing it across the room, really pissed off at me
Being
for like
pissed.
reading their journal. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's my
Uh-huh.
hope, Pam. That's what I wrote
That's
it.
why I was like, wait, were you talking
Wait,
to me? About
right?
me? With a
I get
child,
that a lot.
you know?
I get that a lot. And I love it because we get us.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been needing is like to be seen and heard and understood, but without the shame and blame.
Without the shame and blame, 100%.
Right? Because we weren't doing anything wrong by living into emotional outsourcing. We were just trying to be loved, trying to be cared for, trying to feel a part of.
Mm.
Right? And the problem is the ways that worked when you were 6 and 16 and maybe even 26 don't work in the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Don't work once you're in the career world. Just don't work when you need to actually be the adult and know who you are
Mm.
and be the emotional adult,
Totally.
right?
Another term that I really loved is the underfunctioner.
Oof. Yeah. Married one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think when I was reading you mentioning the underfunctioner and even the story about your ex, how that is it true that that could be maybe one indicator, like when people notice, like, oh wait, like, am I emotionally outsourcing because I have attracted an underfunctioner?
Yeah, under functioners tend to be attracted to overfunctioners.
Yeah.
Right? It makes sense. Because if you're out here not getting the things done, the things still need done. I'll say,
Mm-hmm.
I this internet connection, somebody needs to pay for this. These lights that are on, that needed handled. Right? I've
Yeah.
eaten twice today. Somebody needs to go to the grocery store, right? Like life needs to keep functioning. And if some part of you, conscious or subconsciously, knows that you underfunction in your own life, that you're not showing up, whether it's to do the like mundane, I just mentioned paying bills, but like if you're not going to be doing the emotional processing, you're probably going to bring someone in who will overdo it.
Totally.
Right. And a lot of people are just looking for another over functioning emotional outsourcing mom to be their partner.
Mm.
And I'm going to again throw
Mm-hmm.
the patriarchy under the bus for teaching a lot of people that that's what they need in a partner. And then those of us who do the over functioning are subject to that too. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We learn that that's how we become important.
Right. Accepted, valued.
Yeah, and listen, it feels good at first. Oh, of course I made your lunch. Yeah, I put those little cookies you like in. Yeah.
Yeah. You thought of me when you got them.
Exactly. And you picture them at work opening their lunch and be like, "Ah, she is just the best." But they're an underfunctioner, so they're not. And then
Mm-hmm.
they don't come home and thank you for the lunch, and you write it off once and twice and 75 times. And then you're furious and you're throwing Tupperware, actually, or in your head, right? You're so full of
Mm-hmm.
resentment because we don't do things without strings. In interdependence, there's no tit for tat, there's no strings attached because we are not doing activities in order to create emotion,
Mm.
right? So I'll say, my wife and I are in a very interdependent, very balanced, very beautiful relationship. And like in this last month of this book and business, she's been making every meal. And when she started grad school last year, who made every lunch? And it balances, right? Because there's an energetic flow of equal functioning because we've done our work,
Yes.
because we both come from deep emotional outsourcing.
Yeah, and it's not expected almost,
No, yes, that's it.
you know?
Yeah.
It makes me think of, like, something as simple as washing the sheets, making the bed,
Yes.
and my partner and I, we have 2 beds. So our bed is technically a king size bed, but it's 2 twins, which is,
Oh,
like, and we have 2 covers, is, like, the best thing ever.
amazing.
Highly recommend it, best investment.
That's awesome.
So, we technically each of us have our own bed, but it's together.
Right.
So we have 2 covers. He can, like, not use covers if he doesn't want to, which is
Sure.
usual because, he's like, his thermostat is broken, even though he
Right.
says that mine is the one that's broken. And I use all my, like, weighted blankets and covers and all the things. And when the sheets get washed, if I'm available, I make the beds, both
Yeah.
beds, and it's not a problem.
Nope.
And I just do it because the beds need to be made.
Yeah.
Like, I wanna get in bed, and it's, like, the most delicious thing to, like,
Oh, it's
put
so good.
him for me, to put him when they're still warm. He's like, "Imma wait 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
This is too hot."
Uh-huh.
But the other day, I was going to go work out, and the bed had like, the sheets had just come off, and he was like, "You've done it the last 3 times, I'll do it." And I'm like, "Ooh, are we counting?" And he's like, "No, but you're gonna go work out, so it'll get done." And it was great, and it was
Yeah.
what you just shared made me think of not doing it with expectation, or, like, keeping tabs, you
Right.
know? It's
Right.
like, I'm doing it because I can, because this is the time, because I'm
Because I'm
here,
here. Right.
and it's possible.
Right. And yeah, it really, that expectation piece is everything because my ex, I worked from home the last little minute of our relationship. And the expectation was because I was working full time, like I was seeing patients from home, right? So I was like booked every 15
Mm,
minutes, barely time to pee, but I was supposed to do the laundry and the groceries and the cooking and the cleaning and the everything. It was that expectation, which is really typical of the underfunctioner. Well, I just thought you'd do it. Right, because then they often come in with the gaslighting, right,
Right.
and the blaming, and the, "What do you mean you didn't do it? You were home all day."
Correct. How
Right,
dare you?
right, versus what we both are I was gonna say lucky to have, but I'm gonna guess that for you as much as me, it was a lot of work to get to
We've done
here.
work.
We've done work. We've done work. We have done the work. Yeah, to get to here and to really, for me, a lot of the work was being able to receive that love too. To re-
Receiving, being willing and open to, which for the emotional outsourcer, because it's constantly the codependent one,
Mm-mm.
giving, giving, giving. How
Mhm.
hard is it to receive?
Yeah, well, because it's so scary.
Ah,
Because listen, if you are tit for tat, if you are keeping track, if you are keeping score in your mind and you
mm-hmm.
receive, then what? Oh, you won.
Right.
Right? And then
Then
you look
the board gets
vulnerable.
like,
Right.
yeah.
Right. The world gets, and you're no longer Geppetto, right?
Yes.
You're no longer Geppetto. You're no longer in charge. You're no longer controlling. And I want to say this like not tongue in cheek. That is literally very scary.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I just want to honor, like, if you've never felt in control and managing everything finally made you feel like there was solid ground underneath you, receiving love, care, kindness, clean sheets,
Mm-hmm.
petrifying, like in a very earnest way, very scary. I mean, same with joy for a lot of people. No? Really scary to be in joy if it never had it and it's never felt safe.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because do you agree that when we are triggered, when we lose that sense of safety, our nervous system gets dysregulated. Just as when we get that sense of joy of something that's really good but that we're not used to, it's also dysregulating. And I don't
Yeah.
think we talk about that enough.
We don't talk about it enough.
I tell clients all the time, like, because I have a client, for example, who just entered a relationship
Yeah.
and she's like, this is the happiest I've ever been. I'm the most connected. This is like amazing. This is her first queer relationship also. And so she's like, it's a lot of new things I'm exploring. And it's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And one time she was like, I'm leaving. This is too, I know, too much. And
Oh,
so we talked
peanut.
about that
Yeah.
dysregulation.
Yep.
Just as is regulating it is to not feel safe and to be in an abusive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, just as dysregulating it is to also get that which you've never received.
Right. Right. Yeah, brains don't like uncertainty,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They do not like it at all. And so we
Because the
grasp.
brain couldn't control that anymore.
Right.
In that case, the brain learned how to survive abuse and
Yeah.
neglect
Sure.
and gaslighting,
Right.
but acceptance and joy?
Well, because the thing is, in the abuse and the gaslighting, etc., you can just dissociate.
Yes.
Sure, I'll get your dinner. But like your Stepford wife, like not there because you're so deep in dorsal, you're so checked out. But joy is present. Joy is ventral vagal. Joy is here and now and here and now. And
And you feel.
you feel, and that's the thing. Once you start being present and in mindfulness, you start feeling it all. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
why I start with kitten steps.
Which is what I like about the book.
Thank
You
you.
give us like little, and I also love the language because it's almost like we're having a like it's almost like a love letter.
Hmm, thank
That's what it felt
you.
like.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate hearing that. Thank you, because it felt like a love letter to my listeners, to my audience, to my community. Because I know how painful it is to be in the depths of this and feel like you're broken, and how you must be doing life wrong, and why can everyone else do life right? And I guess I'm just this identity that means that I'm screwed. So
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna be like this forever and ever.
Right.
And so to hear like, no, baby, you're doing great.
Yeah.
You're doing great. You just have some behaviors that aren't great. Please don't bite. Let me teach you how to not bite.
Mhm.
Right?
Oh, so good. So tell us, right now we're in pre-orders.
We are. I'm gonna grab a book. Da, 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 da. What do you think of the cover?
It's so good.
It's so good. So you can get End Emotional Outsourcing, How to Overcome Your Codependent, Perfectionist, and People-Pleasing Habits. Wherever books are sold, you can get it at my website at beatrizalbina.com/book. And I have amazing thank you presents. There is a 45-minute workshop that I recorded with a whole journal and a PDF and like a whole thing to go with it for folks who order 1 to 5 copies, 5 to 10 copies. If you're in a book club, we have book club deals and like this 38-page book club guide. It's pretty all right. It's
Nice.
pretty good. I put a lot of work into it, Pam.
Well, it's people need to get it,
Listen.
you know?
Yeah. And can I share why pre-order matters? Because people don't know. I didn't know.
Yes, pre-order is super important, and this is why I bring authors. Author August is
Author
like I'm
August.
reading like 6 books this month. And I'm always like, why did I do this to myself? But it's Author August.
It's Author August.
And
And
yes, 100% pre-orders are so important because this is how we tell the publishers that we want more books from people like us.
correct.
But you give us your spiel.
No, no, no. Mira, that's it, right? So they only publish the number of actual literal books that exist in the world is based on how many pre-orders there are. So what does that mean? If you pre-order, everyone you pre-order makes it easier for it to get into libraries.
Yeah.
That's the part I didn't realize. So if you want this book to be for free for the masses in your public library, the way I do, that's why I wrote it. And you've got the money to pre-order and get a stack for your friends for Christmas, for your family for Christmas.
Mhm.
Not that we need to be passive aggressive, but
Books are great gifts.
books are great gifts. This one's a bit of a hint, though. Let me tell you what. Like, oh, I saw codependent, people pleasing perfectionist, and I thought of you. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Here you go. Right. Anyway, but yeah, so you can help get it into your public library, and that's what we need right now.
Yeah.
Right? Because what's more democratic than the public library?
And we need to keep public libraries alive.
We do. We do. We do. We
I'm
do.
in the US and there's a lot of funding cuts and lots of things.
Yeah. Yeah. They just cut NPR. I mean, we need us to support books like this and getting them into as many hands as possible. Because this book, it is my hope and dream is that it is part of sparking a revolution.
Mm,
That's why I wrote
I
it.
love that.
Yeah.
As I was reading it, I was like, when I write my book, I'll quote you.
Thank you, Pam. That's
Yeah, no, thank
amazing.
you for writing it.
Yeah.
So we'll have everything on below the video. So we'll have all the links for people to pre-order. Do pre-order. Definitely, I do this often. I buy if authors have pre-order packages of like 5 or more, get the 5.
Get the 5.
Sometimes it's 3 or more, whatever works. Whatever you can do, one book, and I think it's amazing.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you for your words. They're so fun.
Oh, thank you so much.
I felt like I was having a conversation with you. Or you were having more so like you were having a conversation with me.
It's so fun. I love your show. I love your work, and I appreciate your having me.
Yeah, no, of course. Such a delight to have you back.
Thank you, Pam.
Bueno, everyone, that was my conversation with Bea. If you're ready to go deeper, check out the Café con Pam Supporters Club. You can access things early, additional episodes, and it's a way to support us if you feel called to do it. Another way, or many other ways to support us, is by sharing, leaving comments, and subscribing, whether it's to the channel. In this case, because we are on YouTube, please do subscribe. It's just a little button, just push the button. And that helps us. We have a goal. We want to end at 500 subscribers by the end of 2025. And I think we can make it. We're almost there. So subscribe, and send it to your friends. It's a great way to support us and to support our work. Thank you so, so much for being here today. I really hope you enjoyed my conversation. Leave comments. Tell us what else you want, what you didn't like. I mean, people on YouTube, what I'm finding is that people have opinions. Leave them. Drop them in the comments. We love hearing those. Why not? And thank you so much for being here. Nos vemos en nuestro próximo cafecito.
Sabrosura pa' ti que.